All right, my friends, it's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And we have a manifesting mama on the show this morning, my friends. She manifested being on the show. We'll hear that story here in a second. She's a hairstylist that's built a thriving online business through one thing, my friends. It starts with a P. Get your head out of the gutters. Perseverance, my friends. Perseverance. I think about things like pee pee poo poo because I got a 2-year-old at home. So excuse my mind being in the gutter. Daniella, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so freaking excited to be here.
Awesome. I'm glad that you're here as well. And tell everybody where you're calling in from.
I am from Long Island, New York. So I'm probably about an hour and a half west of the Hamptons. So about 2 hours, an hour and a half east of New York City.
Did you just crash Michael Rubin's big white party up in the Hamptons on
July?
You didn't get the invite?
Kids weren't invited, so I couldn't make it that
I didn't get the invite either. I guess I'm not as much of a celebrity as well, I don't think I am, but
you
others,
definitely are. You are a celebrity.
Well, others tend to be, and I think you're either a future or a current celebrity here. What has this been like for you so far to get some momentum going in this little deal here? And what led you? What were you looking for when you found us?
So, like I was telling Joanne before, I had started through Walcott,
Yeah.
and I was just my mindless scroll through the TikTok world,
In a scroll
and
hole.
she just really resonated with me, and I messaged her back and forth for probably about a week because there were some like reservations, like this can't, she's exaggerating, like there's no way. I think, which most of us think. And I just did it. And like I was telling Joanne before, when I saw your face come onto that screen, I said, this is it. This is the guy. This is what I'm doing. You.
Okay.
And I was all in. Every morning I put my kids on that bus and I pretended like I was taking a college course. And I just completely focused and engaged. And I was like, I'm going to do this. And I told my husband, I'm going to be on that show. I'm going to be on that show. This is what I'm doing. And this is going to work. And I don't care how long it takes me, but it happened. And I swore I would reach out to you because I know there's that form that, if you want to be a guest on the show. Nope, I'm not doing it. They are going to message me. And it happened.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And here I am.
Manifestation is real, right? I mean, speaking things into existence, right?
Yeah. And there were days, trust me, like there were days where I'm like, you know what? Screw this. Screw it.
Yeah.
I can't even. So I had a TikTok that I hate to even admit this, but like I paid for like, ads to like boost your engagement. And it happened all really quickly for me. Like I was up to almost like, I don't know, 5,000 followers. And I was so excited and I was doing great. And I kind of like wasn't even trying to move myself on Instagram because I thought TikTok was the end all be all. I thought that everyone was on TikTok and everyone wanted to be. And then they banned me. And I'm like, these sons of bees, like I just paid, $200 and whatever on ads and they're going to ban me. So now, I'm like texting.
Like your 200 is anything but a freckle on the pimple of a gnat's ass to them. Yeah. But we think we're like, I'll take my $200 and add somewhere else.
Right? Yeah. Like whatever. How dare you? So now I'm at a wedding when I get this text message that I'm banned and I'm like, who do I call? China? Like, who do I call? Who do I call? So my husband's like, what's the matter? I'm like, I just got banned on TikTok. It's over. Like, this is over. So I picked up the pieces and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not quit. Like, I'm not. And I went on Instagram and I'm like, this is my main focus right now. And, I have to say everything happens for a reason because I didn't get that personal, like, connection with those people on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is very much entertainment. People do. It's just a scroll. Yeah, I'm interested. And then you never hear from them again. On Instagram, you really do connect with people. It's easier to message them. It's easier to, send a voice recording that's more personal.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was when I really just went.
TikTok's like all the boyfriends you had, and then Instagram's more like your husband, right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the more, you
You
know,
take it more seriously. There's
yes,
just more like
more
there's more
serious.
substance there. You treat it with more respect. You feel like it treats you with more respect, where TikTok's just kind of like that call, you know what I mean?
It
It's
is.
kind of like that dating scene. You might lose a limb.
Yeah.
There might be some bloodshed, you might lose the whole damn thing and have to
Yeah.
start over.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. And like I felt like I was gonna have to start twerking and like doing like a little like dance like in order to just like get a view. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like
Oh, you weren't prepared to
I
go there?
got kids. Yeah. My daughter's friends would follow me on
Right.
TikTok and be like, "Your mom's so hot." Like, and she was like, "You got to get off of there. You got to get off of there." And so it was better that the chips fell the way that they fell.
So how does it feel to be, I mean, your friend says you were so hot. So how does it feel to be, though, noticed, not by children, but noticed by strangers for value and for things, the value that you're delivering out there? And it started on TikTok, but now it's over on Instagram more for you now. What's it like to go from being skeptical, M must be BSing, to then you being in the chair of delivering value and being seen and heard and appreciated and valued by people out there in the market, but complete strangers, by the way.
Yeah, complete strangers. It is so freaking inspiring and it's so flattering and it makes me feel so good. Not even from like just when someone like looks at you and says, "Oh my God," like, there's people that don't comment, that don't like, that don't follow. And I would get a DM like, "I watch every single one of your videos and you are so inspiring and you have made me like want to do this."
Mm,
And that is the best compliment anyone could ever get. And those are the messages that keep me going and like make every single video better because when I started doing videos, I look back, I had to delete some of them because I'm like, this is not good to be on here. But like I was like complete statue, one clip, like I didn't even how you do like 5 different clips and it's like segments. This was like one
right.
straight like, "Hi, my name is Daniella. I am a digital marketer." And I
Like
was
like
like
a science project in
like
fifth
a
grade.
like an AI robot, like crazy. And now I look at my videos and just seeing how far I've come
Mm,
from like February 7th was my first video. And
wow.
now like I get so many comments like, "I love your energy. I love like what you bring to the table, your knowledge."
Yeah.
I was That is the best compliment.
Yeah,
And
and I love that because obviously the comment about your looks are coming from children, but
yeah,
at the end
that
of the
means nothing.
day, ugly people go crazily viral.
Crazy.
A
It doesn't
skinny
matter what
fat
you look like.
doesn't matter what you look like.
No,
Doesn't matter at all. And quite frankly, you could be the hottest person in the world, and other
dumbest
people may see you like that, but you may not see yourself like that, right?
correct.
So it doesn't even matter. Like
Doesn't
and I'm
matter.
speaking to the audience right now mostly because you are absolutely going to critique and criticize yourself no matter how. You're never going to look good enough for you on camera. Your voice is never going to sound like, I think your voice is amazing, but you
Thank
may
you.
not like your
I
voice,
hated
right?
my voice, but now
Yeah.
sometimes, like, I'll hear a clip, I'm like, "Ooh, that's, like, a really cool voice." Like, but,
Yeah.
you start to love yourself more.
Great. Wow. So
Yeah.
say more about that. Talk to us about that evolution for you from February to now of seeing the growth in yourself and also embracing more of your personality versus being that kind of like, robot person. How is that, what helped you to do that? Was it the feedback from other people that you were blown away by and you were like, "Okay, I'm going to give myself permission to open up a little bit more and get a little bit more of my personality out there"?
A little bit. It was a little bit of that. It was a little bit of time and growing, and I'm a hairdresser, so I have, like, the gift of gab to begin with, and I just I know so many other people talk about this, and it's so true. It takes time to be comfortable with putting your real self out there and being able to like be natural. And I think that when you first start recording yourself, it feels weird because you're not talking to anybody. You're just like, you know, I would hide, you know, so many of my videos are in my closet because I would hide from my entire family.
Right.
And I was so embarrassed even for them to hear me because they're like, what are you doing in there? And I would be like, you know, so it's time. It's time and just getting better and growing and like watching other people and seeing, you know, other people still inspire me. You know, there's a ton of people that I follow that I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, and someone said to me, like, people look at you and they wish they could be where you're at, you know, so it's like a pecking order kind of thing. Like, you know, someone's here, you're here, you're here, you're here, and the people down here want to be here where you are. I want to be where those people are. So it's kind of just building.
Not just even in terms of money, right? But just in terms of embracing their message and being
Their
themselves, and
knowledge,
being confident and being knowledgeable, right? It's like, because you actually, as much as, you know, people flash their results, whether it be in the make money online niche or the health niche or whatever, the truth is you don't really know, but you can tell by the way that their presence is, their energy.
The authenticity.
I want you to say more about the family thing, because look, the truth is that you're right. And you can't see the people that you're ultimately marketing to and that are watching your videos. In a way, it's easier to do videos than do public speaking because the audience is not standing right there, and you don't, you know, you can edit things and you can take a break and you can take a breath. And but the family, beginning to record in front of family, or I can remember just when I started holding up the phone and recording myself in public places and having just strangers, but to be able to see them was difficult. I felt stupid.
Like a jackass, right?
I felt like a jackass. I felt like, why? Like I looked like I was acting like I was like cooler or better than people or whatever. Talk us through that and where you were, where you are now, because that is one of the most common things. And a lot of people don't even realize that's kind of holding them back, that they're not so much afraid or ashamed or embarrassed to like put stuff out there. It's actually getting comfortable filming and doing your thing in your own home, in your own environment, and wherever you are actually recording at.
So I think that we're always so scared of being judged. I think that, you know, I just did a video on this a couple days ago. There are like two types of people in this world. There are the people that see other people doing things and succeeding, and they're like, oh my God, like that is amazing. And then there's other people that are like, what is this girl doing? Like, what does she think? She's going to be like some kind of like millionaire, like, you know,
influencer.
Yeah. And so I think we're scared of being judged by those kinds of people, that we kind of just like hide somewhere to do it away from people. And then we start to build that confidence. And then you're like, and then you see like that it's really working and you're making a difference and you're helping all these people, that the people that are in like our real world, you're like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I would be at the salon and I would like set up my phone and like doing videos, and people would be like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just doing something, like, and then I would like go into the waxing room and like finish the video. So, but now I'm like, I don't care. I'll put that shit on the front desk and I'm like, you know, whatever. I don't care. Like, but it took me time to build that confidence. And now, you know what? My kids will be like, oh, you're doing a video? Okay, let me know, you know, when you're done. Like, so it just becomes easier. It becomes easier to be yourself, and it becomes easier to not care what people think. And if you want to think that this isn't real and this doesn't work, then that's fine. That's your opinion. But there's more people that are so interested in what it is I'm doing. And that is what really matters. You know what? The people that are haters and bashers and trolls, and they don't pay my bills. They don't matter to me. You know, all that matters to me is like my family and how proud they are of me. And, you know, my husband was so super excited that he's like my biggest fan, and he's overseas right now. So it's so hard for us to talk, but we were able to talk, and just like seeing how proud of my family is of me, my mom, my dad, my sister-in-laws, like That's what matters.
Good
And
for
all the
you.
people that I'm inspiring on my page.
Yeah. Yeah. You really realize after a while that people will adjust to how bought in you are to what you're doing.
Mhm.
So if their comment knocks you off and makes you suddenly withdraw
Mhm.
and become like, shame based or embarrassed or whatever, then they will react and
Mhm.
also feel those feelings of embarrassment for you, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Whereas if they ask and you're like, yeah, I'm filming a video, give me a minute. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't even require, like, the less you explain the better, because confident people don't go around explaining themselves to everybody, right? And
Exactly.
so they actually, if you're like, yeah, I'm filming a video, I'll be right with you, or this doesn't work for me, I need you to go outside, like start speaking to people
Mhm.
directly, not mean, say what you mean what you say, don't be mean when you say it, is the rule I've always lived by.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this doesn't work for me, I need you to just give me a minute and step out of the room while I finish this video. And you start to, or people are like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I'm filming a marketing video.
Yeah, and
People,
a lot of people don't understand it. And I think that that's a big thing because they just don't understand it. So it's confusing to them,
right.
right?
In
So
in what they don't understand, they often judge, or,
yes,
just
yes,
if people don't understand it, they may have a tendency to feel dumb and
yep,
then project that onto you. Like there's
exactly,
something that you're doing that's stupid
exactly.
because I don't understand it.
Yep, exactly. So it's easier to just bash someone because they
Yeah.
don't understand it rather than get the information for themselves and they'll be like, huh. But I've seen such a turnaround with those people that didn't understand. Now that I'm starting to see success, now they want to know,
Mhm.
now they're interested. So many messages I'm getting are, you know what? Tell me what it is you're doing. Like I'm open ears now.
Yeah.
When you're not seeing success and you're not making money yet and you're not seeing those leads yet, it's hard to like give an argument as to like, okay, well, what am I doing? Right. But then, right? Because you're like, what am I pissing in the wind? Like, what am I doing? Like,
Right,
but
right,
then
right.
you start to see those leads and those like relationships build and the successes. And you're like, now I want to talk about it. Right.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
want to tell you everything because the knowledge that I've gained in these 5 short months is insane. Like, I feel like I could talk about this forever.
Yeah.
This is all I want to talk about.
And
Um,
that's great that your husband, is so supportive, and your
so
family, and by the way, thank you and your whole family for your service. I mean,
same.
just this goes to show how, what military families have to go through and sacrifice, not only putting their lives on the line, but also being away from each other.
Sucks.
Like that's really, really something that, is must be difficult, but it's so nice to hear that you guys are so supportive of each other, and
Yeah.
that he's cheering you on in this way. So do you have specific goals? What are you and your husband's kind of goals, or how have your goals in your vision for your future changed or evolved now that you have gotten traction here and can hopefully start to see a brighter future? What changes do you want to make? What would you like to be doing in a couple of years? And maybe what have even your husband and you talked about in terms of, potential possibilities that are opening up? How have you elevated your goals?
So my husband he's always carried us, like I was a hairdresser, but when I, started having kids, I could only work one day here, one day there.
Mm,
He's also a fireman. He's FDNY in the city.
mm.
He took a
The best
leave.
of what America has to offer right here, people.
Yes, and he took a leave he was always National Guard, but he would like report to the base out in West Hampton once a month for drill weekend, and then they offered him a position in special operations. So he took a 5-year leave from the fire department, and he wanted to do this. And you know what? This has always been his dream. And
Mm,
even though he carried us like financially, like I always supported him because it's what he wanted to do. Since he was a little kid, like he wanted to be in a helicopter, and
mm.
I supported that. So, as much as he serves, I serve too because I held
Right.
it down here. while he held it down there. And like, it kind of just works for us. But this deployment has been super hard. I think because my kids are a little bit older. When they were babies, they didn't understand. They didn't have a conception of time. They didn't have that emotional, like, oh my God, I miss my dad. And now that they're a little bit older, it's getting more difficult because they do understand how long he's gone, and they do understand. And he's such a huge part of their life. Like, he runs circles around me, like, as far as like, he does the sports, he does that. So he is like a constant presence. It's not like he goes to work, comes home, lays on the couch. And so they do miss him because he's a huge part. So I'm mom, dad. And so my goal is to retire this man from the military so he never has to leave us again. Yep. I wish I had a hat because I would throw it down too. Yeah.
I love that. And, you know,
that is my goal.
I'm sure he feels equally about you in terms of you carrying the family and carrying the babies and carrying the emotional load and filling those shoes when he's not there.
He does. He always says, like, you are like 80% of this. Like, you serve more than I do, because what you do at home with them, it's never going to be discounted. Like, I know how much you do. It's hard, like wrangling 4 feral children in the summer.
4,
like,
really? Holy
yeah,
crap.
4 daughters.
Oh wow.
4 daughters, yes, and they're great.
A girl dad times 4. Wow. 5 women in the house, or
poor guy. So you know he's a good man. Like, you know he's a good man.
Oh my God, he's the best of what we have to offer in this country by far. There's no doubt about that. And I can see how that would be a powerful motivation, a powerful why, a why that would make you cry. Right?
I feel like I'm on like the verge of tears right now, because I feel like he is so selfless, and he, like, where I would run away, he runs into. So that takes a special kind of person, you know, with fire and being in the military. That takes a certain kind of person, because I don't think I could ever do that.
I know.
So what I'm doing here, I feel like is nothing compared to what he is doing. So when I think of my why, I think of, I'm going to get this man home with us. And it's not about the money, and it's not about being, you know, rich and having all these nice things. And it's about, he's worked so hard for so many years, and I want to bring him home, you know, for his kids, for us, for his safety.
For him, right? His safety. I mean, just to be around, it's
like, what's the, you know, even if you went back to the fire department, it's like, what's the lesser of 2 evils?
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm thinking about a lot of different things right now. It's like, and what the New York Fire Department firemen have been through, seen over the last decade or so. I mean, it's not been. We've all been traumatized by what they've gone through and what they've seen. This is something that I hope is helping everybody else tap into, you know, what is driving you, what is behind why you want to do what you want.
It really does. It just keeps pushing you, like, I'm going to do this. And again, it's like part of that manifestation. You know, if you really do believe that this could be you, and you really do believe, like, I could have all these things, you know, you put it out into the universe and it comes to you. It does. I mean, I know it's a hard thing to do, but I've seen it happen over and over and over again. A couple months ago, when the whole TikTok thing happened and I got booted off of TikTok, things were just like not good for me. I feel like, but it showed in my content. It showed and people pick up on that. Like, you're not as energetic. You're not as, like, you don't have that spark. And, you know, you can go into a bad place and then you're like, I'm not getting this. No one's messaging me. No one. And then you keep getting a constant stream of nothing, because in your mind, that's what you're putting out there. So I laid in bed one night and I said, send me a white feather. Send me a white feather to know that this is still working. I prayed for it. I asked for it. And I found 3 within the next 2 weeks. 1 on my front porch, 1 on my sweater, and then 1 on the floor in my foyer. And that's when it all started to pick up for me again, because I'm like, you know what? This is real. I have to start attracting a better positive attitude, and then wouldn't you know, it all
Yeah.
started to pick up again.
That's
So
powerful.
it is powerful. It is powerful. I mean, I have read this. I still watch I watch every podcast. I watch all of your stuff. I still watch your videos, the mindset videos, because
Yeah.
it keeps you here. Instead, when you want to fall down here, it
Yeah.
brings you back up to here.
Yeah.
And you just keep pushing.
And the way to get that, my friends, is I love the just praying or meditating and speaking things, whether it be, you know, to God, to the universe,
Yeah.
to your own subconscious. It's also about, as we talk about on the show a lot, it's about speaking those things into existence, declaring them to other people and out loud. It's one thing for what we say and pray to ourselves and quietly, even though prayers can be loud, most people
Yep.
believe. But man, when we start saying it out loud, it's even louder, right? It's even more powerful, because now we're taking those 6,000 or so thoughts that we have per day that our brain automatically makes, whether we like it or not. And we're then taking one out and saying, I'm going to hang my hat on this one with you. And I'm going to hang my hat on this one with you. And now I'm going to take, I may be talking to you, have, 500 thoughts that come into my head, things that I think about from what you say, things that come up for me as I'm talking. But what comes out of my mouth is ultimately what I prioritize, what my belief system is, and also what I'm looking to attract, what it's the bait that I'm putting out into the universe or the earth. And so, I have to be really careful about what I say and what I ask for. And it can feel silly
Yeah.
speaking positively at first.
Delusional.
It can
Delusional.
feel, especially if you're so used. And I have seen so many people who are addicted to being on the pity pot. I mean, it is a default, and it's in all of us. It's
Yeah.
in all of us. It's in me too. I have a inkling or a piece of my makeup that it's there if I want to take that soundtrack off the shelf and play it in any situation. I could play the pity pot song, the poor me song,
Everyone
the victim stance song. But it's about what I say I'm going to do, and then ultimately what I do. And I always say this, I learned this in recovery when I was trying to get clean from heroin. You can't think yourself into a new way of acting. You have to act yourself into a new way of thinking. If you act, even if you don't believe it, if you behave a certain way, say, for example, like a millionaire, even if you feel stupid, if you film videos like you have 1 million followers, right? Let's bring it practical to what we're doing. If you film your videos like you have 1 million followers, how much more of a chance do you think you have to attract 1 million followers if you're filming your videos as if you have 1 million followers versus as if you have the 2 that you have?
1,000% more.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I did. That is the big secret of how I became successful. Was I never acted like where I was at. I never acted like where I
Acted as
was
if
at.
you already had it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's the whole damn secret to the whole damn thing.
Yes.
It's not about being arrogant, being an asshole. It's not about being a know-it-all. It's not about going in lying or even faking it till I make it, because that implies that I have to lie. It's about how I act. It's my energy. It's my posture. It's not even what I say. It's how I say it. I mean, I went to a Tony Robbins event because love Tony.
Love him.
I can't remember a single thing he said. But I'll tell you what, that man moved around the room like a fucking god.
Yes.
Like a Greek
a Messiah.
god.
Yes.
I mean, he was whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
I mean, just boom, boom, jumping up in the air. And I'll never get that vision, that image of how he carried his shoulders, how he moved around the room. Again, I cannot remember a single thing that he said, but the way that he moved moved me.
Yes. And not even trying to be like a dick here. Like when I watched your videos for the first time, that's how I felt. I felt moved and I felt encouraged and I felt like this is it. Like this is where I'm going. This is the direction that I'm going. And that's what pushed me to do all this.
Well,
And
it's because it's all I had. It's all I had when I started this. I was a heroin addict trying to get clean. I had about a year clean when I got into this. I had no degrees. I had a criminal record from my drug addiction. I mean, just DUIs, possession of marijuana, ran from the cops once. uh, I couldn't get a job here in Florida, right? I mean, because I had to put felon on my thing. I had all these odds stacked against, no degrees, no letters behind my name, no work experience,
yeah.
right? So I had literally none of the other shit that most of the time I see gets in people's way.
Mm-hmm.
When we have so many of this work experience, these credentials, all of these accomplishments that we've already made in life, sometimes we think that we're supposed to be further along in a new venture than we are. And
Yes.
so we feel stupid being new at things,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
it's hard for us to get humble enough to be new at something,
Yes.
right?
And that's a great direction to go in, because that was like my number one thing. I had to stop comparing myself to other people in this business, because, you know, you hear like, I made this in X amount of weeks. I did this. I had this amount of followers. And it's like, okay, well, why is it not happening to me? Why can't I get that amount? Why haven't I made that much money? And, you know, Oprah has a quote that she says that the minute you stop, the minute you are running and you stop to look over at the person next to you is the time where it's all over for you, because you're comparing yourself to that person. And in that 1 millisecond, they're going to run faster than you and they're going to beat you out. So you have to stay in your own lane and block everything. You know, I had to like unfollow people, not because I didn't love them and love their content and love everything that they were putting out, but because it put me in a bad place. Like, it was soul crushing to me, like, to see, you know, I started with Chelsea, who is up to 1.7 million. Like, we started the same week, and I am so happy for her. That is absolutely amazing what this woman has done. But then, you know, you see me putting along, you know, like and I'm like, what the hell? Like, how the heck? Like, what? So, you know, I had to like stay in my own lane, stay focused, and my journey, my success, my timeline is going to be different. And I had to accept that, and I had to still keep pushing. So I think that's a huge like piece of advice, to stay in your own lane and not compare yourself to other people, because it could be soul crushing.
And you're right. I mean, I have done that myself. I
Yeah.
mean, unfollowed people. I mean, I do that every day anyways. I mean, I go through I go through like for like every few months or so, like I'll go and just clear out my inbox, unsubscribe from everything that is not absolutely totally necessary. I will every time I pick up social media, if I'm in one of these modes, if I'm just finding myself in a scroll hole, I will just unfollow people. And as I'm scrolling, I'll unfollow to try to clean up my timeline. My friends, there's nothing wrong with going and resetting what you're taking in. It doesn't mean that you're resetting your business. It doesn't mean that you're resetting where you're at. It's that you're clearing out. One of the first assignments I give people in the blueprints is a metaphorical assignment with a practical, simple starting step, which is to clean out your wallet. But the intention is to begin to get in the practice of clearing out the clutter and clearing out the noise. Because if you wake up to everybody else's agenda every day, meaning that if you, the first thing you do, and come on, let's be honest, let's not try to hold ourselves to some, I wake up in the morning and do 30 minutes of meditation. I wake up in the morning like a fucking, like a wild man. My son's screaming in his crib. You know, I wake up in a panic attack in the morning. And my day's off to the races, baby. There's no time for meditation. I roll over in the morning and my prayer is, please God help me not buck this day up today. I mean, that's all I have time to say. And so, you know, if I'm checking my email while I'm having my coffee, and I've got 50 other people's agendas that came in throughout the night, and I'm opening that shit, trying to follow their links and to see what the hell they're doing, then guess what? I'm on their agenda. I'm not on mine.
Exactly. And that's what I was doing. I was like clicking on people's landing pages and being like, oh my God, like my landing page doesn't look like that. Let me go in there and like fix this up. And then I would subscribe to an email, and then I would get that first email and be like, oh my God, my email's like not even as great as that email. Like I should definitely go in and try to fix that email. So, and then you just screw yourself all up, and then you start questioning yourself and your own personality. Like those emails that I originally made, that was from my heart. That was from what I was putting out there. Now I'm looking at someone else's emails that came from them, and I want to put it in mine, but that's not me. So yes, like you can get definitely screwed up by doing that.
So how did you decide what like niche you were going to go in, what you were going to be promoting? Everybody always asks that. They I think overcome. Let me say this, not that we all overcomplicate every damn thing. So how did you simplify what you were going to do enough, at least for now, that you could get started?
Okay, so I have like a terrible case of like adult ADD, and I was all over the place. Like I was like, I'm doing beauty, I'm doing health, I'm doing pets, I'm doing all of it. I'm gonna do everything. I made 14 domains, and I was like, whoa, let's like dial it down a little bit. And I was getting lost in, well, because you know, I am in the beauty industry, so that seemed like the easiest thing for me. Like you know, hair tools, beauty products, makeup, all of those things. And then I said, you know what? I think that so many people, I don't want to be like an influencer. I don't want to sit on camera and like do my makeup. Be like, this mascara is so great. Like, I feel like that's just something I do like on autopilot anyway. Like, I don't know if I could actually, you know, make a living out of it, if that makes any sense. Like being in the salon, like I'm always constantly selling myself there. So it just seemed like a lot. And then I realized like how many people are struggling in this world, how many people are having a hard time paying their bills. Inflation has completely skyrocketed through the roof where people like can't even afford groceries. And I really wanted to go into the making money online niche. I felt like I was so passionate about it, just because we all see the hit from the economy and like what it's done. And I feel like I really wanted to give moms like myself an opportunity and a way to make money online. I mean, how many of us are moms, have kids, our husbands are working, we're home, we're scrolling, we're, you know, mindlessly. Why not make money from it? Like that really just like resonated with me. And I love it. I absolutely like, it's just like where my heart is, you know, all those other things. Like I love hair. I love doing hair, but I love doing hair and those things there. Home, I want to be home and like doing something else that I'm passionate about.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that with all the expertise, it's, you know, more about hair and beauty, or have, let me say it this way, you've forgotten more about hair and beauty than most people know, right? Because it is your career.
Because I do it every day. Yeah.
There is a chance that in the future, as you gain more knowledge, as you're able to, I got my shades here. One of the things that we do here at Legendary is we give you the marketing shades. So it's like now all of a sudden, when you go through our curriculum, you go through the challenge, you go through, you know, whatever the blueprints, if you can or want to, you now see the world differently. It's like, oh wait, hold on a second. I see how I can take my knowledge in beauty and hair and do something that maybe I might be passionate about. And you may not have seen that in month 1 or 6. You may find that in month 18 if you choose to do that. And I think that's one of the things that we all also have to remember, is that when I'm choosing a niche, when I'm choosing to get started, my commitment and my commitment to doing whatever I'm doing needs to be 100%. But I'm not married to that particular product or that niche for the rest of my life. You're not, nobody comes and says, do you take this lawfully wedded niche to be your, you know what I mean?
Sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health, even if you never make a single dime,
Yeah.
you're committed to this niche for the rest of your life. Do you feel the freedom and flexibility of this evolving as well?
Well, I want to add something to that because I feel like as I went through this journey, it's like made me realize that being a hairdresser and now starting marketing, I feel like even though they're two separate, different careers, they're so much the same because as a hairdresser, I'm selling myself to the client, right?
Yeah.
They're coming to me for a problem and I'm giving them a solution to their problem. I can't get my hair to go this way. So I'm making them trust me by saying, you know what, we're going to do this. Like, and that goes with, selling them products like this hair serum. This would be great for the problem that you're having. So, and then when I would see like dark days, not even dark days, but like days where I would be like in like a little bit of a slump, I would remember how long it took me to become successful in being a hairdresser. So overnight successes like don't always happen. They happen sometimes if you're lucky. Like when I first started out doing hair, I waited like 2 years for a chair, and I saw people move up and I was still at the sink, like, let me wash your hair again, like, but then it all happened. And now I see where I am as a hairdresser and how much knowledge and, confidence I've gained in that field. And now, like, I'm amazing. I'm here. But, it took me 20 years to get there. So again, everyone's journey is different. So when I think about like my marketing career now, it's the same thing. It's like I started here and it might take me 20 years to get here, but I'll get there. I will get there if I put in the time and I have patience and the perseverance.
Yeah, and I had to do the same thing where my father did, and then I gave it my best shot, but I was a real ass. I would always go out on estimates. I would I would get injured.
Like purposely?
No,
Oh.
like clumsily.
Yeah.
We'd go out on a construction estimate, because that's what you do in construction. You go out and give free estimates. That's, people don't realize. They say, I'm going to be a carpenter, I'm going to be a plumber. No, it does not matter. You make a beautiful point, a powerful point. You are in sales and marketing.
You're marketing yourself.
You can be the best damn plumber. You can be the best, carpenter. You can be the best contractor. But if you get on that job, and one of the funnier injuries that I had was I was going out to meet this investor one time, and he was showing me this single family house that needed to be done, and the garage door was stuck, and I'm like, oh, I'll get it. Here I am, like this 24, 5-year-old kid. I'm like, oh, let me have a look at it. Right? I go over there, I touch it, I pull down a thing that I didn't know what I was doing. I pull down, the garage door comes slamming down. I try to go and grab it and catch it, and it cuts my hand to the point to where the guy had to take me to the emergency room. I had to get in the man's car.
Who is this guy?
He dropped me off. He's like, good luck, dude. Hope that heals up for you. But I did not realize that I had to be in sales and marketing. You have to sell yourself. You have to close that deal. Even if you're going to job interviews, a lot of us think we're, just going to go into engineering or going to go into accounting. Corporate America is even worse because you got to sell yourself over and over and over again all the time because there's people who want your job.
Yeah.
Right. So embracing sales and marketing and realizing that I can have the greatest product or even the best skill in the world, but if I can't continuously demonstrate value, right? If I can't show people that I can help them by actually helping them first, that's the key. If I can't show people that I can help them when they hire me, when they give me money, when they buy something from me, by helping them first and demonstrating that value when they sit in the chair, or when they walk into the salon, or when I walk into their home and I'm looking at their cabinets, if I can't show them a vision, if I can't show them or help them up front before I actually get hired to help them, I'm going to be a very poor man. And my father and I were poor in construction.
But listen, you could give, in my perspective, you can give the shittiest haircut someone's ever got, but if they like you, they will stay with you for the next 25 years.
You've seen that probably in the
Because
salon.
they like you.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit what their hair looks like. They connect with you. You mesh, you get each other. And that comes in marketing too. Yeah. Someone needs to connect with you. They need to like you. They need to like your personality, resonate from where you come from. And there's times that like I've done another client from someone else and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this girl's hair? And she's like, I just couldn't get to her, but I love her. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like what? All right, like whatever. So that really goes to show that it's not about the haircut. It's not about, but it's about the way you make them feel. It's about the way they feel when they're in your chair, the way your conversation is. So it's so much personality.
Yeah, it really is. And all of you have personality and all of you have value and all of you have, your own unique brand and flavor. And the reason why I know that is because every single person, when you get comfortable with them or they get comfortable with you, they open up. They begin to be themselves, right? And so the sooner that we can drop down those walls and realize that we're really the only ones that are holding ourselves back by doing all the things that you've said so, hilariously and powerfully today, which is criticizing ourselves or being embarrassed in front of our family or, valuing other people's opinions as if they're paying our mortgage or something. The quicker we can let all of that go and realize that this is a relationship between me and a potential client. This is a relationship between me and myself. And this is about me beginning to step into my power and my potential. The potential that I know that I have, the potential that I've been being told my whole life that I have. But because of my own fear, because of my own insecurities, or maybe because of what I've believed about other people, what they've said about me, I've taken on their limiting beliefs. I have held myself back. And it is time to cut the chains and let myself live the life that I deserve. And we've talked a little bit about some of the benefits of doing this. How are you evolving your happiness and your fulfillment and your excitement through this? Whereas maybe in your long career, that may have become a little bit stagnant. For those who are who haven't yet felt that fulfillment, that happiness, and who are not having fun yet. Are you having fun doing this?
I'm having so much fun. And when you help your first person, I think that's when it like takes off. Like when you see that you've changed someone else's life, that inspires you so much to just keep having more fun, because genuinely, like that is what gives me like such great like happiness, is helping other people find what I have found. And you could do it too. You could do this too. And I think that when someone is inspired by you and like takes the leap to like take it to the next level, that is what makes this all for me. I think that's really my, what's the word I'm looking for? Like what makes me truly happy in doing this. It's not about the money. It's about seeing other people being so excited about this, which was where I was when I started. Like I signed on that day and I was so excited. And I love to see other people feel that excitement. Yeah. And that's what makes it so much fun.
So speaking of that, what advice would you give yourself when you first started that you needed to hear that you know now? What would you say to Daniella? What if you could sit her down back in February or whenever, when you were full of more doubt, full of more skepticism, weren't really sure? What advice would you give that Daniella that you know now because it's been some time?
You need to have patience. You need to not get so easily discouraged when you have 2 views on your video. You need to show up every day, which is what I did. I showed up every day, whether I got 2 views, whether I got 1 follower. Keep showing up. Be confident. Stay in your own lane. Don't compare yourself to other people. Believe that this is going to happen to you. when it is your time, because that's really, it's all about when it's your time. Like I love Steve Harvey. Like I think that he is so inspiring, and I listen to his, little excerpts on Instagram all the time. And I would say, make sure to take 15 minutes out of your day every day to watch inspiring, empowering videos like that, because that, just like you, like this man was homeless, like he was living in a car, and he said, God, if you just please let me do this one, I will tell the world that it was you who made me make it. And I feel like you just need to, the patience and the perseverance is what is really so important. And I always bring myself back, and I always look at where I came from to where I am now. Even though it's only 5 months, I've come so far. So always looking back to that day one and to now, that's enough to just like keep me going and put me in that good space.
Well, I think you gave a lot of people a reason, or a few this morning, to keep going too. This has been fun.
This has been an amazing, the best experience, and I better be back on here when I hit Diamond.
You will, girlfriend. You will.
Yeah.
My best, our best to
Yeah.
you, your entire family, your
Thank
husband.
you.
Thank you again for your service and your
Thank you.
family service, and of course, pass our best on to him, that he
Thank
gets
you.
home safe.
Thank you for getting me here, this was such an amazing experience, and I will manifest much more.
Yes, you will. All right, Danielle.
Have a
We'll
great
talk to you
day.
later. Stay legendary.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, my friends, go and follow Daniella on Instagram at Ella the Affiliate, and that's ELLA the Affiliate, at Ella the Affiliate. You can find her over there on Instagram. Go from there, lift her up. Woo, boy, she'll lift you up right back. My friends, it is Monday, and that is a fantastic way to start the day, start the week, and finish the month strong. Okay, we still have so much time to make 2023 the best year, the most productive year, the year that you made a big decision, had a big defining moment in your life where you said, hey, you know what? I'm going to take back the reins of my life. I'm going to take the bull by the horns, and I am going to take the wheel and drive into the place and where I want to go. And I'm going to take my family with me. And even if they don't understand it at first, and even if I feel embarrassed at first, I'm going to push through those feelings just like Daniella did. My friends, that was a wonderful episode. If you're just tuning in, re-listen to that one. Go and find us over on the podcast as well. We've got everything uploaded on, all your favorite podcast platforms. At least I think they're at least on iTunes and Apple and all those nice platforms. Of course, the replays are right here on this page. You can find over 700 of them. We even upload them to YouTube. You don't have to look that far, though. Right here, if you're watching us right now, they're all right down here on this page. And so there's plenty of inspiration and stories for you to listen to. If you want lots of different examples, you can find them here. Again, there's 700 episodes or more of people from all different walks of life taking our core 4 business models and using them in lots of different ways. And now the only thing that's missing is you taking them and you using them for your own benefit and to push your life further. You can do this. You got this. Be legendary. Get out of here. Talk to you later, my friends. Peace.